Hey YouTube. Well, as you can tell from the title of this video, this is going to be part 2 of my coming out video. And if you haven't seen my first coming out video, I suggest you see it before you see this one. So, my first video will kind of explain basically my situation. And this video is going to be kind of like the resolution. So, anyways, this video will be, I'll be talking about me coming out to my parents, which is always the hardest. So, I'll begin. It starts basically, with me, again, always wanting to tell them as soon as I realized it. But I was always so scared of being disowned, or that they wouldn't like me, or anything like that, so I didn't tell them until recently. But, I guess the story behind me telling them, it's not as long as the other one, but it still took a lot just for me to do it. Just like any other time I came out. Well, it would be like this. My parents came home 2 weeks ago from today, and they were just sitting out on the porch. Since it was actually a warm day in winter, my mom and dad decided to sit outside and tan a little bit, and just enjoy the warm weather, which I kind of did too, but not as long as they did. I'm white, not... Anyways, they were just sitting out there. My mom was reading her little electronic book, my dad was basically asleep, and it was around 4. I actually looked at the clock, and I just decided, I'm tired of hiding it from them. Might as well tell them now. And right before that, I watched a few coming out videos that kind of got me inspired, and I felt like I was ready to tell them. Now, even though I felt like I was ready, I was still shaking. I almost felt like I was gonna throw up as soon as I sat right next to my mom. We had a little conversation, just like small talk. What's gonna be for dinner? Is there any plans for this weekend? Just small stuff like that I always kind of come up and ask just randomly. And after like a long silence afterwards, I just kind of leaned over to my mom, just kind of rolled over in my chair and told her, I want to tell you something that I should have told you, what I believe, a long time ago. And hearing the seriousness of that, my mom actually turned off her book, and my dad, he was wearing sunglasses, so I don't know if he actually woke up or not, but he stirred a little bit, so, and I just told them straight up, I was gay, and my mom actually took it very well. Both my parents actually did, but my mom was the first one to say something back. Again, I don't know if my dad was still asleep or if he heard me, just didn't know what to say. But my mom, she grabbed my hand and said, it's okay, we still love you. And this was the really strange thing she said, that she kind of already knew, which was very weird. I mean, I thought I hid it pretty well. None of my friends ever knew, they never asked. My mom, I thought, would be the last person on earth to know. And I knew none of my friends told them, because I asked everyone specifically never to tell my parents. But, other than that, apparently she knew. And she just said it's a parent thing. I still don't get it today. But, yeah. And my dad kind of leaned over, or tossed over in his chair. Apparently he was awake by now. He said he still loved me. And then after that, they just said that my mom was kind of curious if I was gay or not. She still had her suspicions, and she's not going to bring it up until until I actually had the courage to say something to her. So, yeah. Everything's, though now, like 2 weeks later, everything's actually going really good. My parents still act the same way. My friends don't know that they know yet, but I'll cross that bridge when they get there. There shouldn't be that big of a deal anyways. And one of also the main reasons why I wanted to tell them is because I wanted a relationship with a guy. And I promised myself that I would not be in a relationship until my parents knew. So, still not in a relationship though. I'm still trying, but oh well. Yeah, after I came out though, my mom mainly, my dad contributed a little bit, but they both asked me a lot of questions. Now this was I knew the answer to most of the questions. Now some of the questions I didn't know is like, what happens when I get older and I get some sort of disease, or I need to get taken care of because I need surgery or something like that. Just when I get older, like 70s, 80s kind of thing, to where I don't have a wife, or if my brother doesn't like me, who would I fall back on? Now, as a teenager, I'm not looking that far ahead because I need to focus on the problems right now, school and grades and all that stuff. When I get into college or in a relationship or on actually a stable job, then I'll start worrying about that. And I told her that. Other questions were just like, do you want to talk to anyone? We can try and find a counselor. Don't talk to anyone. Don't talk to your school counselor though. And I told her that I'm never going to talk to a counselor, because if there's I don't know what to talk about if I actually went. And if I ever needed to talk to someone, I do have other friends that are gay. And one of my youth pastors, my youth pastor in a church, he knows, and he's okay with it as well. And he was also a counselor before he was a youth pastor, so I can just go and talk to him. And I told that to my mom, so to let her know that my options are open. I actually have options. Yeah, there's gonna be just a lot of questions, and honestly, only your parents are gonna ask you these type of questions. So, yeah, that's about it. The questions basically only lasted a week, and my parents are now, I want to say, okay with it. They're definitely to terms with it, but me finally saying that I'm in a relationship when I actually get one will probably a totally different story. And it's just gonna be another hoop to jump through, I guess. Well, I promised that this video would be shorter than the other ones, because the other one was really long. So, again, well, I should leave you off with this. If anyone has any questions, comment, leave something on my channel. I'll answer them as much as I can. Alright? Goodbye, YouTube.